What I just read?
Revelation 3:18. Read.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 1.
Bring it out.
Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin.
What happens when you cover yourself with something that's not the Most High's spirit? You add sin to sin. So what happened when they were sowing them fig leaves? They was adding sin to sin. They was being double wicked. They could have just said, I couldn't resist. That was the first time I ever heard a lie, and I fell for it. Forgive me, God. No, they made excuses. What happened when Cain killed Abel and the Most High came and he was naked before God? He said, where's your brother? All Cain had to do right there is say, I got jealous. I put him to death. I resurrect him. Bring him back to me. I'm wrong. What did Cain do though? He made excuses. Am I my brother's keeper, man? Right. Talk to the Most High like, am I my brother's keeper, man? That's why the Most High jacked him up. Right. Put a mark on him forever and his seed and kicked him out. Made him a vagabond in the earth. And then now you got Edomites walking around with that spirit on them. That's a judgment. Read Isaiah 47:3. Who got it?
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47 and verse 3.
Come on.
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered.
See again? Everywhere in the Bible it's the same slang, right? Read on.
Yea, thy shame shall be seen.
And that's what nakedness is. It's your shame of knowing that you was wrong. So when Adam and Eve sold themselves fig leaves, they made themselves an excuse or a covering. They didn't. How you gonna sew a fig leaf onto your naked body? You gonna sew it through your flesh? It don't make sense, right? That's why we out here push the word to you. Go ahead, pick back up in Genesis.
And they heard the voice of Yahweh God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam, his wife, hid themselves from the presence of Yahweh God amongst the trees of the garden.
So they hid themselves amongst the trees of the garden, but we know the trees represent power, influence, and people. Not a tree. You can't hide. Your own kid can't hide behind a tree. You see him right there. I see a jacket. You're right there. So what they did was they made a covenant with those other nations. Now, well, we might as well go this way. We started this way. Let's go be there. And what the Most High do?
And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou?
And that's because Adam is naked before him. In other words, he is exposed. So the Most High knows where he is. He's just giving you a chance to answer and be a man about it. Y'all understand the Bible? Read on.
And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself.
Come on.
And he said, who told thee that thou was naked?
Who told you that that was something you wasn't supposed to do?
Right.
Who learned you that, boy? Who learned you wickedness? You weren't even supposed to know. Can you punish your child for doing something that you didn't tell him not to do? It's a baby. You laugh at them when they do something stupid that they wasn't supposed to do. It makes entertainment. And then you say, no, don't do that no more. But when you tell an older child, don't touch the stove, and they touch the stove, then you're wroth with them. Because you told them better than that, and you expect better than that. See, the Most High is telling Adam, who told you he was naked? Whatever wickedness they dabbled in, the Most High was like, man, who learned you that? Who taught you that? Read on.
Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee that thou shouldest not eat?
Have you been dabbling in other doctrines? Come on.
And the man said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
And that, hey, that's real. You brothers is weak for these women.
Bring that out.
The prospect of being alone is too much for you. So if the woman wants you to wear this, you're going to wear that. If the woman don't want you to go to camp today, be with me, you ain't going to camp. You're going to be with her. If the woman want to do Valentine's Day, but you come talking this Hebrew Israelite and she get upset and now you ain't getting what you want, you're going to go get that teddy bear. Because the Most High accept it's the woman. And come on. It's the woman. Does the Most High accept that as an excuse? No. He don't accept that. He gonna hold you accountable. You brothers gotta be strong, man. Come on.
And Yahweh our power said unto the woman, what is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
And now the woman passed the buck. My father used to tell me this. I used to come home from school. I got in trouble in school a lot. I used to finish my schoolwork too soon, and I would get bored, and I start fooling around, messing around. I get in trouble. I'd be talking. I'll be being an idiot. I'm be real. I'll be being an idiot in class. I ain't have no discipline. Like, I just can't sit there and mind my business until the bell ring. No, I'm bored. I got to do something. So what I would do, I would come home and they already called my house and left a message. So I'm naked before my parents. I walk in the house. They looking at me. I'm looking at them. What's up, y'all? I don't smell no food, y'all. Well, I'm about to go back outside. No, you're not. Because I'm naked before them. They know then they're going to give me a chance. What you do in school today? See what I'm saying? It's the same thing the Most High is doing. What you did in school today? We learned math. We had gym. Gym was fun, and I had scraped my knee. No, I don't want to hear all that. What you did in your third class today? And now the fear comes on you. So you make a covering. Well, they was talking to me, and I just said something back, and then the teacher got mad at me. And you know my father would tell me, I don't want to ever hear the word they come out your mouth. Don't say they nothing. I asked you a question. I asked you, what did you do? And the next thing I would say was, well, we was in the back of the class. It wasn't just me. I wasn't the only one that got in trouble. My father don't want to hear that, man. And shortly after that, the belt came out, and I had to learn my lesson, right? Well, that's the Most High. He's our Father. With woolly hair, with the spirit of an angry, gotta work too hard black father on him. Okay? He's the same spirit. And he jacked us up and sent us into captivity because we did that all through history, making coverings and sowing fig leaves. We wouldn't stop doing it. Okay, Israel? You understand the parable that Genesis is trying to teach you? All right? Now we could go on and on, but then I had to go into other things and read on.
This is verse 14, Genesis chapter 3, verse 14. And Yahweh our power said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
But the beast of the field we know is the nations and the people. It's not talking about actual animals. The beast of the field are people that are living without the laws of God. That makes you the beast of the field. Even Esau knows that because he used to call the slave the beast of the field. He used to put that on the pictures. Come get you a beast of burden. And we would call the slaves that. So we wasn't talking about animals. It was talking about people that was living outside of the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of God. So he cursed the serpent, or those that deceived us in the beginning, worse than anyone else. Read on.
Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat.
Now look, now they're going to tell you that that's how a snake evolved and became a snake. The Most High took his legs away, and that's why he crawls on his belly, because of his deception to Eve. That's stupid. And that's not real. Okay? A snake is a snake because that's what it is. That's not talking about that. That's talking about nations. Give me Micah 7 and 17. Eating the dust represents being humiliated. We're going to read it again so that somebody else get Micah 7:17. You read that again so it's fresh in their mind.
Of the dust you shall eat. So like it says, upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat.
Come on.
All the days of thy life, and I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Now that's deep. We're not going to talk about that right now. We're going to first deal with the serpent being cursed to lick up that dust. Who got Micah 7 and 17?
Micah chapter 7 and verse 16. The nations shall see and be confounded at all.
The nations shall see and be confounded. So what are we talking about right now? People. Yes?
The nations shall see and be confounded at all their might. They shall lay their hand upon their mouth. Their ears shall be deaf.
Come on.
They shall lick the dust like like a serpent. They shall move out of their holes like worms of the earth.
So they're going to be subdued and humiliated. So they're going to lick up the dust. Ain't that what we tell Esau when we put that boot out? Now lick up the dust from our feet. That's right. That's the same thing that the serpent was punished to, was licking up the dust. That's not talking about an actual snake, man. That's talking about the nations and their doctrines being humiliated when the Most High is glorified. That's why Micah 7:17 is the precept for that. Micah had to explain that to you. That's why Ezekiel 31 is the precept for Genesis 2. Ezekiel has to teach you Genesis chapter 2. That's why Daniel told you that in the latter days, knowledge will increase.
Teach up.
That's why Peter told you that these scriptures from the prophets was not written for the people of that time, but they was written for you in the generation of faith. So this Bible is always going to be relevant. It's never going to not be relevant. It's too much to learn. And it's too much to study. Okay? Go back to Genesis and deal with the verse 15.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thee and thy seed and her seed.
Now this is confusing. The enmity between thee and the woman, the Most High is talking to the serpent and to the woman at the same time. Putting a woman does not have seed. Man has the seed. Acknowledge that. And the Bible backs that up and proves that in many verses. Acknowledge that. So what we're discussing, it's kind of like when we did Passover and then we teach in the Exodus and then all of a sudden it says, and the Most High sought to kill Moses, like out of nowhere. And we didn't know where that came from. That's because they just jumped to the next thing. So this is one of those times. The Most High is jumping to the next thing to show you something else. That woman, okay, represents Israel. And when he says between thee, he's talking about our opponent, our adversaries, and the other nations, which they have proven, because we're not together with them. No matter how much we love them, we're not together with them. Right? Only we want to be with them. They don't want to be with you. We was at the Chinese food place. We was at American Deli. How did the black woman get spoken to by the Asian lady?
Cussed her out.
She cussed out in front of everybody.
For no reason.
For no reason.
For something that somebody else did.
And then when I got offended, and she gave me a look, and I'm the customer. So basically, the Asian lady was telling me, I don't give a damn how you Negroes feel. So what? You work for me. And she just screamed, and the poor girl was used to it. She didn't say nothing. And we left. We didn't order the food. We left. We said, damn, why you talk to her like that? And she gave me a look like, how dare you challenge me? She forgot that she works in a fast food restaurant and has to make my food. So she went to her heathen mind. How dare you challenge me? You black. You ain't on my level. That's that enmity between their seed and our seed. Okay? Read on. It shall
bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Now, whose head was bruised and whose heel was bruised? Did they not put a crown of thorns on Yahushua head? Isn't he our leader? Give me that. 1 Corinthians 11:3. Let's see who's our head. Because our head got bruised and their heel got bruised. Let's see what the Bible explains.
1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is Yahweh.
Is God. So stop saying that there's a Trinity and God and Jesus are equal and co-eternal and there's a hypostatic union. That's a lie that Catholics made up.
Right.
Christ told you himself that his Father is greater than I. John 14:28. Ain't no equality with God. He's God.
That's right.
Christ is under God and you are under Christ. So when our head got bruised, that was Yahushua being put to death to bring us back, to heal us from what? That original sin. Ain't that what we're reading about? So now we're getting a prophetic prophecy about how this is going to be recovered and corrected. How the covenant of death that we made back in Adam's day, that how Yahushua is going to make a way out of that so we can be adopted back into the glory. Y'all understand?
God.
Now, when was their heel bruised? Who we talking about? Y'all get mad when we say that Esau's the serpent. Oh, you got it? Brothers on point. Come on.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 25, and verse 22. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
2 nations are in thy womb, which is impossible. So the Most High had to do that. Those 2 nations mean that they're not the same people. Come on.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
That's why I like to say Esau ain't my brother, because he's a different manner of people. He ain't related to me. Come on.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people,
Read on.
and the elder shall serve the younger.
Future prophecy. Read on.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Come on.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
There you go. There's Esau. What happened to Esau?
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold of Esau's heel.
Now what did Genesis just tell you? That they're going to bruise our head and we're going to bruise their heel.
That's right.
That's the separation of Esau and Jacob in Genesis.
That's right.
Everybody understand that? So at what point are we supposed to get together with them? Never. That's why Sirach said, never trust thine enemy. Because as iron rusteth, so does his wickedness. Right? Knowledge and understand that. Read back in Genesis. Continue on.
This is chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth.
Hey, order. Ain't no scripture that say that. You try to be a man, that's why the Most High put that beard on you. Why you got that beard on your chin? Got a little afro under your throat. Read.
In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. Every time. Bring it out. Bring that out. We're going to get that. We're going to read that. Read what you got, Joshua.
Verse 16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
This is the Most High telling you that now you're gonna have a psychosis, Israelite woman. It's gonna be painful to bring forth children. That's one. So that means that there was a point in time where the Most High made child rearing painless. Women used to stand on the stocks. They take 2 blocks, stand like this, and they have a midwife, and they catch the baby. They use gravity to bring the baby out. It wasn't as painful as today. You gotta get an epidural in your back. They got you laying on your back. You defecating on yourself trying to get the baby out. It's painful now, unless you take the drugs and the medicine. You know, you gotta do the Le Mans classes that try to help. Because nobody you wanna make it as easy as you can make it, right? But the Most High is telling you at one point in time that child rearing was painless. What do you see when you look at nature and the animal kingdom? You ever watch nature? The gazelle drop the baby gazelle right there and just start licking it, and then the gazelle start walking, and like, all right, yo, there's lions out here, we gotta go, right? There was no pain, there was no recovery for the animal. It's all right, right? That's the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to just have joy in our childbirth. And that's something that we can look forward to in the kingdom. That's why you brothers gonna have 500-600 kids, man. You're gonna have a whole army. The Bible said, and a little one shall become a great nation. Right? So that means grandpa gonna have his 100 sons. And you ain't gonna have no problem with it, because childbirth is not gonna be so painful. It's gonna be nothing. And it's gonna be nothing but righteousness. So you're not gonna have to protect your children. Think about that. When you meditate on the kingdom, that's number one benefit and blessing. You do not have to fear for your children. You can leave them with anybody, because everybody righteous.
Right.
So we're gonna go explore some hidden garden that the Most High got on the other side of the earth. This is my boy. He's gonna help you. He's gonna stay with you. We'll be back. And when you come back, the brother is looking like a man now, and he's been taught righteousness, so he's happy to see you with respect. He ain't been freeloading. He been helping them. They love him. They done gave him a wife. Now you got more kids when you come back. Wow, what happened here? That's the kingdom. Father, I've been waiting for you to return. I'm a man now. It's amazing. You gotta meditate on that stuff, man. Okay? Give me 1 Peter 3:7. But you women gotta understand, your desire is gonna be towards your husband now. So you're gonna want him to rule you, but you want to be the boss at the same time. That's that psychosis that Genesis is telling you about. It's telling you that you want your desire is going to be towards your husband, and he shall rule over you. But America is teaching you that you the boss. That's why you want a real strong man and you hate a weak man, but you hate the strong man because he don't let you do what you want to do. And look, the sister said that's right. Look, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come listen, come hang with us for a while. Where y'all going? All right? Y'all come listen. We out here for y'all. We not out here for ourselves. Read that.
This is the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands.
That's what Genesis has just taught you. Come on.
That if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of wives.
So now a righteous wife, you're going to teach many without even having to bring out a Bible and push the word. You're going to teach many. Because the women is going to be envious of you. You are nothing like me. Look how delicate you are and respectful you are. Your husband rejoices in you. When I come home, my husband go in the other room. He hide from me. He turn the TV up louder. Because they'll be one with your conversation of a righteous woman. You'll teach them just by being righteous. You don't have to become a female pastor. You don't have to do that. Read on.
While they behold your chaste conversations coupled with fear. Verse 7. Verse 7. Likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel.
You gotta dwell with your wife according to knowledge, you men though. You think you're gonna find a way to deal with your wife outside of this Bible, and that's why it don't work.
That's right.
I'm gonna watch a YouTube video. This brother's a relationship expert, and he gonna give me some game to control my wife, always testing me. I'm gonna buy a book called He Motions. Yeah. What's the brother that made that book? The fat preacher with the raspy voice. T.D. Jakes. He made a book called He Motions. And that's what? And that's gay. That's right, sister. You're gonna and you women, you're gonna listen to Steve Harvey. Be a woman, but think like, no. Be a woman and think like be a woman.
They got that movie, Like a Woman, Think Like a Man. What's Think Like a Man? It was a book.
You can't even say it right because it don't make sense.
That's right. Act like a woman. He did on that movie, didn't he?
And Steve Harvey's a big coon too. And you following him. You see, the Most High tell you since the beginning of the Bible how to act, behave, conduct yourself. He gave you the whole breakdown, and then the prophet spent the rest of the Bible telling you the Most High gonna kill y'all because you don't listen. And then Yahushua came on the scene saying, okay, I'm gonna die for you, so stop sinning and repent now and turn from your wicked way. My Father is ready to receive you into everlasting kingdom now, but I gotta die. I'm gonna do that for you, but can y'all stop sinning, right? And then James and John and Peter spent the rest of the time explaining to you Paul. Like, listen, Paul said this, but don't forget the initial teachings. Y'all ain't ready for Paul. And then the Revelation taught you how it's all going to end. See, that's the doctrine of the Bible, right? So if these pastors in these churches understood Genesis from a child, we would have known the doctrine of the Bible. We would have already been moving in a righteous manner because we already know what it's all about. We thinking it's the white man's book. We thinking that it's two naked people in the garden eating an apple and God is mad. That's not what the Bible is teaching. But you need knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to break that down. And that's why y'all come out on y'all Saturday and sacrifice and sit in the hot sun and listen to us go on and on. That's why you brothers put your fringes on and bring your Bibles out and mark down precepts. That's why brothers over there holding posts to keep the peace. So that the word can go out, man. So that the Most High can be pleased, because we do everything for Abinah Yahweh.